Sitting by the road, looking for a ride home. It was milepost 12, and I was all alone. Sun beating down on the back of my neck. Oh Lord, let me find a peaceful place to rest. I was too far from home. I gotta get back to Oregon. Too far to roam, trying to get back to Oregon.
We woke to a warm morning, camped next to the Soda Mountain Wilderness in southern Oregon, and started to plan our first reroute of the trip.
So I wonder if the whole national monument area is now wilderness.
It might be. It could have gotten an upgrade.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Eggs and hash browns were for breakfast.
I snuck the meat in. Don't tell him.
We also got the opportunity to chat with some PCT thru hikers.
So one thing we want to do on our trip is, because all the sites we're going to are vehicle accessible and we've got a lot of space, but also a lot of the sites are along the PCT, and the folks who are hiking the PCT don't have room to really pick up trash, or they don't want to add extra weight. So we're gonna, every campsite we stay at, we're gonna do a real thorough sweep, go through, pick up as much garbage as we can, and leave it nicer than we found it. Good L&T ethics. Looking pretty good over there? Pretty good, I'm not seeing much.
A suitable reroute found, we broke camp, only to have a closed road halt our progress after not that many miles.
So what's the game plan? We're gonna push through, and provided there isn't a bridge out or something, we should be able to hook up with this forest road and get off the closed road. So far, got a good start to the trip. Dialing in all our filming and just expedition procedures. Only day 2, so we got plenty of time to figure things out yet. But
We're back on 66.
we just figured out one of our first road closure reroutes. It was a little bit more complicated than we had originally anticipated. Our original trail route dead-ended where we camped last night, and we had to find a route around that. And when we headed down that route, the new route this morning, we ran into a road closure, so we just routed around that, and now we're back on track for what we had replanned for the day, and should be on Forest Road again here shortly.
After a few hours of dusty roads, we stopped at Howard Prairie Lake for a quick lunch and to enjoy the water.
Dos cheeses, por favor. You get these cool plastic paper bits with that.
Woo! Are those edible?
Yeah. Jeff, do you like butts?
Love butts.
Boom. Lunch. Jeff, do you want me to do your meat sandwich artist style?
Sure.
The sandwich artist never just lays the meat on the sandwich. You must perforate the meat.
That's not what perforate means at all.
Does that mean fold?
You must fold the meat. I was never an actual sandwich artist, so my skills in the sandwich artist trade are, of course, not up to par. The reservoir was created in 1958 and is known for its large number of rainbow trout, largemouth, and smallmouth bass.
So we're at a local reservoir. You can see, as we demonstrated yesterday, the SS relief stations are out there on the water serving their purpose. Our favorite flotation pooping stations are at work doing the good job. See that right there? That's the boat.
Lunch finished, we hit the road. We will be crossing the PCT again here in about a mile and a half. You know, starting on the California-Oregon border, working our way all the way up to the Oregon-Washington border. The main goal with just this whole idea is mapping out routes that stay as close as possible and cross over the Pacific Crest Trail as many times as possible, and hopefully staying off of the pavement as much as we can. Speaking of the Pacific Crest Trail, we just crossed it right there. And this Oregon segment, just because it's close to home, we're based out of Bend. This Oregon segment was kind of a first test with fairly rudimentary gear, rudimentary vehicles, all that. The roads that we're going to encounter are not very, technical. I know that the Washington section I've looked at a little bit, and then the California section as well. Those are both going to be very technical. The California section, a good chunk of it actually falls on the Rubicon off-roading trail, which is kind of notorious for being one of the most technically challenging off-road vehicle routes in the entire country. Jeep named a vehicle after it. So, before we actually are able to complete the entire thing from Mexico all the way up to Washington, following the entire PCT, definitely an upgrade in terms of vehicles, an upgrade in terms of, some of our skill sets will be required. So this Oregon section, a little bit more of a trial. Our vehicle's very basic, figuring out systems, seeing what works, and just seeing if it's something that is actually enjoyable. Is this a legitimate overlanding expedition?
Asa just went down the wrong path of two paths. The obvious one that just came out, and then that one. And got himself stuck at the bottom of the beat. There's some slippery rock and some tight trees. And now he's trying to work his way out.
I think this is going to be our first recovery of the trip.
This might be, actually. This will be our first, big, we got a truck somewhere where a truck is not supposed to be moment. It looks like he's managing to do a 23-point turn. And in the meantime, we'll just sit here on our high horse on top of this hill and make fun of him.
How's it going down there, Asa?
It's going good. Just doing a 100-point turn. And I lost my front bumper, so I have to stick that back on real quick.
Yeah, he's about to try to crawl up that, so that'll
I like how you were like, want to take points? And I was like, yeah.
That's some trail clearing, potentially. We're going to walk down to see if this is an area that we do want to stay for the night. If it is a cool spot, we'll clear out this section of the road, because this is a Forest Service road. But if we hike down and there isn't anything that is worth our time, then we won't bother. Our first campsite option, a lake at the end of a dirt road, proved to be no good.
trail right now after failing to find the lake that we wanted. It turned out to just be kind of like a little boggy pond, which is cool to see. But we saw on a map that there's supposed to be a ghost town somewhere down this thing. An old forestry town or something of the sort, I don't know. So we are on our way walking down to it right now, hoping that there's still some kind of a remnant there. We were hoping to be able to drive to it, but there was a large log blocking the road. We saw there was a hiking trail here, and while this is an overland expedition, we are all also active outdoorsmen and enjoy taking walks every now and then.
Thought we lost you.
I tried my best.
I was just telling Andrew all these real kind of short, stubby, kind of gnarly trees are Pacific yew. It's a little bit of a more uncommon tree in these parts.
Fat tree.
Kind of sounds hollow.
Yeah.
Are you Paradise?
Updated captain's log.
Yep.
After wandering through the woods for a little bit, going to the supposed landmark for said lost town, or ghost town, or whatever it might have been, old logging camp. It was
Paradise does not
yeah,
exist.
apparently named Paradise, and
You found Paradise.
we couldn't find it. It was not there. So leading to me to the bleak realization that Paradise is not something you can find on a map. I guess the search will continue.
Guys, this is the one. Asa has decided
We're gonna do it.
we're gonna use this Gerber hatchet,
Take down the
Chop
whole
down.
tree.
that large tree in our path. Nothing but this Gerber hatchet.
Ace is just putting it on the chainsaw chaps because he thinks it looks nice. Now you might look at me here and say, Jeff, there's no way you could remove that massive clutter of downed tree with nothing but a Gerber hatchet. And I'd say you're wrong. What we're gonna do is we're gonna close the camera, and when it comes back on, this is all gonna be cleared out. And I guarantee you, it was done with nothing but this hatchet.
We'll let you start into it.
Well, that about wraps it up for that obstacle. All thanks to the power of Gerber.
Our campsite for the evening ended up being little more than a turnaround at the end of a road, but we made the best of it. A quick aerial reconnaissance revealed the surrounding landscape and a beautiful sunset. Not a bad conclusion to our second day on trail.